up, my fellow dorks? It is the Turtle Dork back with a new reaction for you. So the next one we got here is a film called Mortal Engines. Engines or Engines. I saw they had like a teaser trailer that really didn't give away much of anything, but from what I gathered, the premise sounds interesting. The idea that we live kind of like in this, the earth has gone desolate, and all like the major cities are now but basically on wheels, kind of rolling through the wastelands of the earth. And these larger cities, say if it's something like Chicago or London, I think is in the trailer, they try to take the resources from a lot of the smaller cities that are mobile. And so that's an interesting idea, and they're really pegging this as by Peter Jackson. And it's funny because the movie is not directed by Peter Jackson. Looking at it on IMDb, it's directed by somebody named Christian Rivers, but they were really selling this film like from Peter Jackson, that even before I did the research on it, I thought that it was directed by Peter Jackson. I get it. You know, he's the bigger name, and you can really put butts in seats by presenting it as, you know, Peter Jackson's film. But whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out this official full trailer, I believe, for Mortal Engines.
What is that? That is London.
60 minutes is all it took to bring humanity to the very brink of extinction. Mankind mobilized. A new age arose. The age of the great predator cities. Survival of the fastest.
Hey, watch out! Valentine. This is for my mother.
She stabbed him and he didn't die? Why would they show that in the trailer?
Ask him why he murdered my mother.
I'm sorry you had that. As to Shaw, she won't stop until I'm dead.
Unless you kill her first.
I want them found.
Because they're trying to set them up as, you know, the protagonist and antagonist.
I've been looking for you for a long time.
Floating cities.
She said she had found something dangerous. She was afraid of Valentine, of what he might do.
The man who controls this, controls the world.
She said that you could stop him.
Peter Jackson makes sense, yeah.
This weapon can wipe out the largest city in the blink of an eye.
Not if we shut it down.
Nothing can stand in the face of this.
We have to stop London before it destroys us. You sure you want to do this? Once we go in, there's no going back. I have
to. Okay. I mean, it looks cool. Looks decent. I have to see a little bit more from it. I think this comes out in December, so I mean, this being June, it's kind of early to really kind of get a real grasp of. I'm looking at the visual effects, and I don't know. It kind of reminds me of some of those other kind of like fantasy films that we've seen before. That I don't know. It looks kind of. I mean, it's accessible, but yet it could be disposable. I mean, I don't want to write it off because the premise does sound kind of interesting. I think in the beginning of it felt like it was telling too much of the story. Actually felt like and I know we talk about that a lot, but it literally felt like we were watching a shortened version of the film in the beginning of this. So I think they were doing that to really try to set up Hugo Weaving's character and the young lady, I don't know her name, who plays, looks like the main protagonist, really trying to set up, their kind of rivalry against each other, which I thought was cool. It was decent. But I mean, I thought you probably could have done that in a little bit of a different kind of way. But it definitely has a steampunk vibe to it, which I think is kind of cool. That's something we don't necessarily see a lot in films, especially nowadays. So I kind of like that aesthetic of it. But I don't know, the trailer overall, it was fine. I mean, it doesn't raise my excitement anymore to see this film. But I mean, it looks like it looks like it could be a decent film, but I would like to see a little bit more from it. They do use Peter Jackson's name kind of heavily, which I understand them doing. But the director, Christian Rivers, I don't know what he's done previously or what some of his other works are, but him given the range to do a movie of this scale, I'll definitely check him out on IMDb to see what he's done before. So if he's a new director, I'm definitely rooting for him to succeed with this, because it's it's not easy, especially when you give a new young or first time director like a huge scale film like this. But I think being under the tutelage of somebody like a Peter Jackson will definitely help. We saw that with Neil Blomkamp. With District 9, even though that was more of on a smaller scale, he definitely had Peter Jackson as a mentor going through that first film with him. So hopefully he's doing the same for this director as well. But yeah, all in all, we got another 6 months till this hits. So it's just a wait and see approach. But let me know what you thought of the trailer for Mortal Engines in the comments below. Go ahead, rate, like, subscribe, and share. And go ahead and check out my other dorks, at MouthDork, at TheDiscoDork, and at Sidewalk Siren. And as for me, I am the Turtle Dork. And with that, I'm out.